Hello everyone on Google, YouTube, and the internet community. We're going to be reading a chapter of Checklist for a Perfect Christmas, Judith Blahnik, 1996. It's double date, Dell Publishing Group Incorporated, 1540 Broadway, New York, New York, 10036. Chapter 8, The Handmade Christmas. Making a fresh evergreen wreath, designing your own greeting card, creating a new ornament or gingerbread house, carrying home and trimming the tree and wrapping packages with hand-tied bows brings a personal character to your Christmas that touches all around you and remains uniquely yours in memory. Make it a point to give yourself a little time to make something this Christmas. Something as simple as stringing popcorn or cranberries for the tree while listening to music, sipping hot cider, and chatting with others calms the mind, pleases the soul, invites the Christmas spirit in, and more important, creates moments you don't ever forget. Craft magazines and the special holiday editions of magazines such as Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and McCall's are jam-packed with inspiration for a vast array of exciting projects. From easy-to-make ornaments, candle holders, stockings, personalized greeting cards and wrappings, to elaborate quilts and tapestries. My longtime friend Ginny Folan is a devout Handmade Christmas aficionada. Around mid-September, she starts meeting weekly with a group of friends to make ornaments, the ideas for which come from magazines. My neighbor Barbara McTiernan has done the same, amassing hundreds of original ornaments and craft pieces over the years. Both she and Ginny tell me that there are these secrets to getting projects completed. A passion for a homemade personal atmosphere in the home at Christmas. A plan, a glue gun. The rest is easy. With a few materials and not much time, anyone can turn a bushy, fragrant wreaths, original greeting cards, ornaments, and much more. Hello, Stream Sniper. Welcome. Getting craft projects off the ground and completed. Getting started. Late November is okay. Early November is better. Choose one or two simple projects to accomplish on your own or with others. Use your local copy print shop for help with handmade greeting cards. Locate your nearest floral or craft supply store, home decoration store, and fabric shop. This is where you buy circular wreaths, forms, styrofoam forms, floral wire, ornament hooks, and decorative touches, such as bunches of faux berries, millinery fruit, and tiny pine cones, miniature snowmen, Santas, white glue, a glue gun, spray paint, ornament hangers, and silver and gold thread. Spread the projects out over a few days, writing your start and finish dates on the calendar. Begin making earth angel ornaments one day, for example, and spray paint them on another, or bake the gingerbread ornaments one day and assemble and decorate on another day. Set aside a space that can remain messy until projects are complete. Christmas cards. Handmade cards are the most pleasurable for me to receive and send. Friends and relatives send me Christmas letters with hand-drawn designs between paragraphs and in the margins, handwritten albeit photocopied, letters tucked inside store-bought cards and home design cards, complete with original drawings and verse. The Christmas letter. Lots of personal details is the key to a good Christmas letter. Try to keep it to 1 or 2 8.5 by 11-inch pages, typed or written, while leaving room between paragraphs in the middle of sentences, and in margins for added designs and decoration. To decorate the letter, use rubber stamps to fill the spaces on the page, or use drawings by the kids, words, or designs you've cut from magazine layouts, and pasted down even parts of photographs. Take the completed letter design to a print copy shop and have as many as you want printed on colored paper. One Christmas, a writer I know detailed in type, single-spaced hilarity, her cross-country assignments from the previous year. To illustrate the bizarreness of her travel assignment schedule, she took pictures of herself in a photo booth at Woolworths, quickly changing baseball-style caps from the different places she'd written about through the year. Toledo Mud Hens, Planet Hollywood, Anchorage Truck and Salvage, Pura Caterpillar Expo, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, California, Whale Watch, Disneyland, and finally Connecticut Pork Farmers. She then cut out each photo from the strips and pasted them here and there throughout the letter. Greeting cards. Handmade greeting cards are easy to produce these days. Anyone with a computer and printer with graphics capability can design a layout, scan and include photographs, and typeset a personal message in very little time. When the design is completed and printed out, all you have to do is take it to a print shop, of which there seem to be as many of as convenience stores, and we have the artwork printed on cardstock, heavyweight paper, to fit stock size envelopes. Your computer also can produce mailing labels. The photo card is one of the easiest and most personal handmade cards to do without a computer. Choose a photo you'd like to use to say happy holidays, a family gathering, you at work or play, or a special nature scene. My nephew Paul once sent one of his dog, Montana, wearing reindeer antlers. Take the photo to a Photoshop and have it printed as a postcard. Then you can add your message to the back with the address and mail it as a postcard, or you can place it in an envelope. For the past 10 years, Ginny and Tom Folan and their sons Michael and Kevin have sent me a printed hand-drawn card with original verse. Tom or Ginny takes the artwork to the local copy print shop, and voila, 100 cards on any color cardstock they want. I have kept all of them. My favorite is with a stick drawing of a shepherd and a lamb looking up at a star with the words, "In the middle of the night, the shepherd saw the special light. A newborn babe brought peace and hope and gave us directions on how to cope." Inside the card read, "We wish you glee as you trim your tree, and we hope you cope in 93. Last Christmas, my friend Catherine Shedrick came up with an easy-to-make card with a simple and elegant design. It didn't involve a print shop, Photoshop, or a computer. Start with a stack of white or cream-colored 4x6-inch cardstock. You can buy it in an office, stationery, or printer supply store. Buy envelopes too. In a housewares or hardware shop, buy a roll of colorful, luminescent, self-adhesive shelf paper, bright green, gold, plaid. Now all you need is a good pair of scissors or X-Acto knife, a pen, a ruler, a flat place to work. Unroll the paper so that it is lying flat. Use heavy objects on the corner if needed. Using a pen and ruler, draw a triangle on the paper that measures 2.5 inches from the apex to the base, which is 2 3/4 inches long. It's best to use the natural edge of the paper as your baseline to begin with. Draw a smaller triangle that measures 1 inch from the apex to the base, which is 1 inch wide. Peel the large triangle from the adhesive and center it onto a piece of cardstock. Center a smaller triangle under it. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Homemade card basics. Before you begin, know the size you want your card to be. Be sure you can buy envelopes to fit the card. When folded, many Christmas cards measure 6 3/4 inch wide by 5.5 inch high. When unfolded, they measure 6 3/4 inch wide by 10 3/4 inch high. To design such a card, use a blank piece of 8.5 by 11 inch white paper. Cut the width down to about 7 1/4 inches. Fold it in half and design your cover, interior, and back. Know what your nearest copy shop or print shop requires in terms of original design from you and time to produce your card. For example, if you want to use a photograph, be sure to check that it will reproduce well on a cardstock. Discuss your idea with the print shop first before you spend a lot of time on an idea that proves unworkable. The Christmas tree. The Christmas tree first came indoors in the 17th century when Germans placed cookies and candles on its branches to represent the life and the light of Christ. By the middle of the 19th century, the custom had become well-rooted in the U.S. today. The selecting, the hauling home, putting up, and trimming of the tree is arguably the most exciting, hands-on project in anyone's holiday. Over a dozen varieties of evergreens are raised on U.S. tree farms, specifically for adorning homes at Christmas. My favorites are the fragrant Douglas fir and balsam fir. The Scotch pine and the blue spruce are my runner-up choices. The former because its bushy branches, although not so fragrant, add a plump charm to the living room, and its needles are so hardly that they don't shed easily even if they become dry. The latter I love just for its thick and elegant branches. Me personally, it's the Colorado blue spruce is my favorite. Making your selection. Before you head out to the tree lot or tree farm, make sure you have an idea what height and width tree you need. If you're heading to the farm, find out if you need your own saw. It's always best to buy early when you're bound to get the most perfect tree. The trees first show up in my neighborhood about the first week of December. My contributor Sharon Kopensky buys her tree December 5th, even though she doesn't put it up until the 15th or so. If you can buy your tree early, keep it watered and protected in and out of the way spot until you're ready to put it up. Test a tree's freshness by running your fingers pressed down together down a tip of branch near the top. If the needles do not break or come off in your hand, or rather show resilience, you get a fresh tree. You may also lift the tree by the center of the trunk and tap the trunk against the ground, just to make sure needles don't come tumbling off. Care for your tree. When you get the tree home, saw off about ½ inch at the bottom of the trunk. This removes the hardened sap coating that the tree formed after it was cut. Stand the tree in a bucket of water. It hasn't had a drink in some days or weeks, so we'll take in a gallon or more of water within a few hours and probably a quart a day thereafter. Then place the tree in a cool place where it is protected from wind and direct sun, a garage or cool room until the day when you'll bring it in for decorating. Before you bring the tree inside, make sure that your tree stand will fit the trunk of the tree. Make sure your ½ inch cut is level too, where it won't stand straight. Also make sure that the stand has a deep water reservoir, not a shallow one. The bigger the reservoir, the less often you'll have to water the tree. Then bring the tree in, place it in the stand away from any heat source, and fill the reservoir with water. To keep the tree fresh and fragrant, check the water level in the stand reservoir every day. Don't let the water level slip below the bottom of the trunk. This can be difficult to accomplish. What with the tree skirt and the presents under the tree, to add water, try using a long-necked funnel available in auto parts and hardware stores. Some home decorating stores, such as the Home Depot, offer reasonably priced state-of-the-art Christmas tree watering devices. Lights. In my experience, it takes about 200 small multicolored or white lights and about 150 ornaments to adequately deck out an approximately 6 foot tall by 4.5 foot wide Christmas tree. Use 100 small lights and 75 ornaments for a 4 foot tall by 3.5 foot wide tree. If you prefer the old-fashioned red, green, and gold lights, my favorites, use a little less than half as many of the small lights required. A 6 foot tree will need about 85 large lights, and a 4 foot tree about 45. Check your lights a couple weeks before you plan to light your tree. Replace any burnt out bulbs and buy new lights to replenish the old strands. Garlands and strings. Once the lights are on, it's time to add strings of popcorn and cranberries or any other garland. You'll need about 70 feet to wrap a 6 foot tree from top to bottom, and about 40 feet for a 4 foot tree. Ornaments. I've discovered that they often use ornaments either matter deeply to their owners, each carrying a tender significance and memory, or they don't matter much at all. Whatever adds sparkle, color, and texture is fine. Take your ornaments out from the storage several weeks before Christmas and decide if you want to make or buy new ones or do something totally different for a change. My mother went through a snowy tree stage for a few Christmases while I was growing up. Some people did the tinsel stage as well. Our yearly Douglas fir, which was usually decorated with large lights, colored glass balls, and tinsel, was replaced one year by a blue spruce, with branches sprayed white with fake snow, decorated with bright red balls. The next year, the tree was again white, but had only blue ornaments. An electrically rotating color wheel lamp sat on the floor next to the tree, casting waves of changing colors onto the tree. After 1 or 2 more years of snow-tinged trees bedecked with white lights and bows, only bird ornaments only, We all realized that Mom was trying to create a white Christmas in Southern California living room, soon after my family started going to a cabin in the mountains for Christmas. There was snow cascading outside. We enjoyed once again a green Douglas fir warmly lit with reds, greens, and golds and decorated with a cheerful hodgepodge of ornaments and silver tinsel. Theme trees. You might want to change the look and feel of your tree this year. Give flight to your creative longings. Here are a few theme suggestions to spark your imagination. Antique or Victorian theme. Use small multicolored or gold lights and garlands of pearls and glass beads. Using a glue gun and ornament hooks or gold thread, hang tawny bells, antique angels, bouquets of dried baby roses, miniature toy drums, stuffed bears, lace hearts, sashes, Victorian Santas cut from Christmas cards, tin toys, miniature red, white, and blue flags, or bunting. Animal theme. Make gingerbread ducks and pigs and cows. Hang them along with toy horses, sprayed gold, paper mache doves, ceramic cats, tiny stuffed dinosaurs, photos of family pets, and colored glass ornaments shaped like bears, camels, elephants, and toads. Toy theme. Deck your tree with trained cabooses, whistles, tiny trumpets, harmonicas, small dolls, tiny houses, airplanes, boats, and clowns, and garlands of popcorn and ribbon. Hi Connor and hi Heights. Memory theme. If you've saved everything from over the years, you might have fun making a memorabilia tree. Use your usual lights and many of your old ornaments as a base design. Then add small items from you and your family's past that will have meaning. Small, lightweight framed photographs of when you were a child or your children when they were smaller. Cut and glue portions of photos to ball ornaments. Hang ribbons and medals won at school sports competitions. Tie baby's first shoe to a big ribbon. Or a blue. Or a yellow. The tag from a fondly remembered family dog to a string of gold beads. Hang up some dried flowers from a special bouquet, a matchbook cover from a wedding ID, tags from a tour of duty, toys that were once loved, an alphabet block, an egg of silly putty, small crafts made at camp. Children might enjoy decorating smaller tabletop themed trees by themselves. The theme might be dogs only, birds only, toys, or small drawings. The Earth Angel Ornament. One year I chose to cover the tree with angels, any kind of angels. If it had wings, it was welcome. In addition to numerous carved wooden angels, ceramic angels with chimes, tubby little stuffed angels, and elegant paper mache ones. There were flying pig angels and earth angels. My neighbor Barbara McTiernan told me to make earth angels from flora collected from the park near our homes. Because of the different sized pine cones used, each one was delightfully different. If your surroundings don't yield all the needed items, your local florist supply store will have what you need. One pine cone, any size, brushed clean of surface dirt. One large acorn, cap still attached, wiped clean. One whole milkweed pod, opened and dried. One pipe cleaner, one golf tee, 12-inch length gold thread, gold spray paint, and a glue gun. Hold the pine cone stem side up. This is the body of your angel. Using a glue gun, attach the acorn to the stem of the pine cone. This is the angel's head. Give it a good look over and decide on the best place to attach the milkweed pod wings. Then, using a glue gun, attach the wings to the back of the angel. The pipe cleaner creates the angel's arms. Wrap it around from the back to the front, tucking it under the petals of the pine cone so that the two ends can be shaped as arms. Between the two ends of the pipe cleaner hands, use the glue gun to affix the golf tee, which is the angel's trumpet. Whether the trumpet is up on the playing position or down in the relaxed position is up to you. Attach the gold thread around the body for hanging. Hang the angel in a spray box and spray with gold paint. Let dry. A spray box, any large cardboard box at least 2 feet deep, allows you to spray paint ornaments and decorations in a contained space. Lay the box on its side and cut a small hole in the top. Put the thread that holds the ornament up through the hole and loop it around a thin stick so that the ornament hangs freely inside the box. Spray the ornament lightly, turning it until it's completely painted. Not all ornaments need to hang in a spray box. Some can just sit on the bottom and be turned by hand. Angel cut-out ornaments. I save any card with an angel on it, especially those with Valentine or Christmas angels. Those make wonderful ornaments and charming additions to any package wrap. To hang the angel cutout so that it won't spin on its thread and reveal its undecorated back, you'll need pliable glue or a glue gun and some ornament hooks, both available at any craft store or floral supply store. Angel cut from a card, glue or glue gun, ornament book. On the back of the angel at the top, press a BB size amount of glue. Then press the bottom part of the ornament hook onto the glue. Let dry, then hang. From the oven, ornaments, gingerbreads, stars, critters, and things. One of my favorite things to do is bake new ornaments each year. The hankering must come from my German ancestors who actually adorn their trees with sweet cakes and cookies. These ornaments are a snack to make. They can be baked, cooled, wrapped, and frozen long before the tree arrives. Once thawed, you can leave them plain and rustic or ice and decorate them. Choose simple cookie cutters, 3 inches to 6 inches in size, in any shape you like. Stars and moons can be iced pearly white and sprinkled with gold or silver draggies. Animals can be iced or left plain. Toys such as cars and planes can be iced and coated with colorful sugar sprinkles. Classic gingerbread people, Christmas trees, snowmen, Santas, and Rudolphs can be iced in the appropriate colors with licorice dots and red hots used for eyes and noses. If you can't find a cutter for a shape you'd like, draw the shape on the lightweight cardboard and cut it out to make your own template. Lay the template on the rolled out cookie dough and cut around the outline with a sharp knife. Don't use just one size. Ornaments of different sizes and shape delight the eye. For the gingerbread dough, 7 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of ground ginger, 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of ground allspice, 1.5 cups 3 sticks unsalted butter, softened, 2 cups sugar, 2 large eggs lightly beaten, 1.5 cups unsulfured molasses. Combine the flour, baking soda, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and allspice in a large bowl. In another mixing bowl or in a bowl of electric mixer, beat the butter, sugar until light and fluffy. Beat in the eggs and molasses until well combined. Add the flour mixture and beat well until dough forms. Divide the dough in half and shape into each half into a ball. Flatten slightly and wrap in plastic wrap. Chill at least 1 hour or keep refrigerated up to 3 days. Heat the oven to 350 degrees. Grease 1 or 2 cookie sheets on a well-floured surface. Roll out half the dough to about 1/8 inch thickness. Using cookie cutters or templates, cut the dough into desired shapes and place on the prepared cookie sheets. Bake until cookies are firm to the touch, 10 to 12 minutes. Do not let them become too dark around the edges. Remove the cookies from the oven and use a wooden skewer or matchstick. Make a hole in each one about 1/2 inch from the top. Cool cookies completely on a wire rack before storing and decorating. Mix about 12 3-inch ornaments and 6-inch ornaments, or 24 3-inch ornaments, or 12 6-inch ornaments. Royal icing. 2 large egg whites, 4 cups, about 1 pound of confectioner icing sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Combine all ingredients in a large mixing bowl or in the bowl of an electric mixer. Beat until creamy, stiff, and soft peaks form. If icing is too thick, add a little more lemon juice. For colored icings, tint small bowls of royal icing with food color dyes. Mix about 2.5 cups. To decorate, silver and gold draggies, cinnamon red hots, multicolored sugar sprinkles, licorice strings, gumdrops, green and red food dye. Place the decorations in the wells of an empty styrofoam egg carton. Decorate the cookies one at a time, spreading each with a thin layer of royal icing and adding any of the decorating ingredients. Set aside to dry completely. Some cookies look wonderful without icing or decorating, Hang the ornaments using colored thread, thin ribbons, or ornament hooks. The wreath. Probably as classic a symbol of Christmas as the tree itself, the wreath is frequently the first thing you see as you cross any threshold during December. It conveys welcome. Being a perfect circle, a wreath is also a symbol of never-ending strength and love, a comforting reminder in the dark days of approaching winter. The classic wreath. A fresh evergreen circular wreath about 26 inches in diameter, decorated with a large bow and several pine cones or small gilded balls or sprigs of millinery fruit or faux berries, is the wreath most of us cherish seeing during the season. Several large bows of fresh fir Scotch pine separated into 3 to 6 inch sprigs. Some people prefer to cut their own juniper branches and separate them into sprigs. Florist wire. One wire wreath form, about 22 inches in diameter for a 26 inch finish wreath. One large wire ribbon bow. Assorted small balls with floral wire attached pine cones and ornaments. Adding a favorite ornament makes the wreath even more memorable. Cover a workspace or tabletop with newspaper to make cleanup easy. Make small bunches of the sprigs and wrap the base of the stems tightly with florist wire, making a bouquet. The fuller the bunches, the fuller your wreath will be. Attach one bunch at a time to the wreath form using additional florist wire. Overlap the next bunch so that the greens cover the stems of the previous bouquet. Continue until the form is covered with greens. Affix large bow, a bunch of pine cones, or millinery fruit over the place where you last attached a sprig. Leave the wreath simple or add a few more pieces of decoration. For variations, mix several different varieties of fresh greens, pine, fir, cypress, and juniper. The Advent wreath. A long-established custom in Germany and many Eastern European countries, the Advent wreath sits on the table in the household throughout December. On each of the 4 Sundays before Christmas, a red candle is lit and added to the wreath, usually at or just before dinner. By the 4th Sunday, 4 candles are burning in the center of the wreath. Several large bows of fresh fir, Scotch pine, separated into 3 to 6 inch sprigs, florist wire, 1 wire wreath form about 16 to 18 inches in diameter, and 4 red candles are needed. To make your own Advent wreath, simply follow the directions for the classic wreath, but omit decorations, as the Advent wreath is usually just greens and the red candles. Theme wreath. Buy ready-made dried grapevine wreaths or styrofoam wreaths forms and some bags of peat moss. Florist wire and wooden pegs at a florist supply or home decoration store and decorate them according to theme. For a nature wreath, you might cover a styrofoam form with peat moss and wired branches of pine cones, acorns, red faux, berries, dried hydrangeas, and a green bow to wooden pegs and stick them into the wreath. A grapevine wreath and a glue gun is all you need to make a wreath of pine cones, berries, and bows. Make a Christmas nut wreath by using a glue gun to affix walnuts, filberts, and almonds in their shells to a vine wreath or styrofoam wreath form. Leave it natural or spray with a clear lacquer, or even gold paint. When it dries, attach a gross green ribbon bow for color. You can also do this with hard cardboard and pasta. You can glue pasta to the cardboard after you cut it a stencil and then spray it in whatever color you want. Hey Dave, how's it going? Welcome. Pardon me. Projects especially for kids. As excited young children become impatient about the slow passage of time when Christmas is so close, but also so far away. Letting them help make ornaments and greeting cards and trim the tree provides much needed focus and joy. But as many of us can remember, calming down enough to go to sleep at night was one of the hardest things to do in the Christmas season. Here are some projects that may help end the day. Growing Santa's beard. Santa starts out with a beard. The beard grows slowly over the month. When it's full, it's Christmas. On a large, approximately 9 by 15 inch piece of heavy poster paper or construction paper, draw Santa's head, hat, eyes, cheeks, and a smile, but just a light line outline for his beard. Or buy a large Santa face at your local party supply store and carefully cut his beard off and glue him without beard to the poster paper. Add a light line outline for his beard and hang the beardless Santa inside your child's bedroom door. Every night, let the child glue 3 or 4 cotton balls into Santa's beard before going to sleep. It takes about 90 cotton balls for the full beard, so to figure out how many cotton balls your child can glue on each day, divide 90 by the number of days left until Christmas. If you start Santa's beard on December 5th, add 4 balls every night. On December 15th, add 9 balls every night. The arrival of Rudolph. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer starts out in a puzzle pieces. When he's all assembled complete with his red nose, Christmas is here. Purchase a large poster of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at your local party supply store. Trace its outline on a large piece of poster paper or construction paper and hang the outline inside your child's bedroom door. Cut the poster of Rudolph into several pieces, antlers, shoulders, legs, tail, and so on, to be assembled over time. Cut as many pieces as the number of days left until Christmas. Place the pieces except the nose in a bag. Each night before going to sleep, your child removes a piece from the bag, finds where it belongs on the outline, and glues it using a glue stick on. Save the nose for last. Going to Bethlehem. If you own a nativity scene, instead of putting it up all at once, do it with your children one piece at a time. First, either read the story of the Nativity from the New Testament in St. Luke's Gospel, or tell the story yourself. Describe how Mary and Joseph traveled to Bethlehem and how Christ was born in a stable, how the angels sang and the shepherds came running to see what was happening, and how later the 3 kings came visiting too. Count the pieces in your nativity scene and start this project that number of days before Christmas. Mary and Joseph count as one piece on December 24th, and the infant Jesus is added to the manger on Christmas morning. If you don't have a nativity scene, each night the children can draw a different piece. First the stable, trees and hills, then the animals that live in the stable, camels, cows, sheep, goats, chickens, ducks, horses, donkeys. As Christmas draws closer, they can start drawing other people in the Christmas story. Shepherds, men, women, children, and their dogs, and shepherds' families who live nearby. Then they can draw the star in the night sky, and all the angels singing, and finally Mary, Joseph, and the infant Jesus in the manger. Try to limit the size of each drawing so that you can create a somewhat realistic scene in which Mary and Joseph aren't bigger than the camel, for example. When each drawing is finished, use a glue stick to glue it to lightweight cardboard. Then, using good scissors and an X-Acto knife, cut out the drawing. Glue another small piece of cardboard to the back so the piece stands up on its own, creating a 3-dimensional scene on the tabletop. Or you can tape the finished piece to a large poster for a 2-dimensional nativity scene. My favorite place for the homemade nativity scene, however, is on the refrigerator. In a craft or electrical supply store, purchase several small magnets. Affix a magnet to each mounted drawing with a glue gun and place the drawing on the refrigerator. Remember, Mary and Joseph arrive next to last, and the infant Jesus last. Merry Christmas. Hi, Freshly. Good, how are you guys? Welcome. Checklist for a handmade Christmas. November 1st to 7th. Decide if you will decorate your tree in a new way this year. Make and or bake new ornaments to add to your collection. And if so, how many? Make wreaths to have or to give away. Make your own greeting cards, make floral arrangements or centerpieces for gifts. Collect pine cones, acorns, and flowers for including in homemade gifts. Shop for materials for homemade crafts and gifts, making them if you planned on making a lot. November 8th to 14th, work on craft projects. Plan and design homemade greeting cards. November 15th to 21st, cut out boxes of old ornaments and decorations. Buy need to replenish what you have. Work on craft projects. Pardon me. December 1st to 7th, make an Advent wreath and place it in the central location. Buy your Christmas tree. Make a wreath to hang on front door and foyer. Complete craft projects. Bake gingerbread ornaments, wrap and freeze for later use. December 8th to 14th, decorate gingerbread ornaments, trim the tree. And our next reading will be chapter 9, Christmas Parties. So you guys stay tuned for that. Again, appreciate you joining me for another reading. Chapter 8, Checklist for a Perfect Christmas, Judith Blahnik, 1996. Good night, y'all. See y'all later.